Oi. What have you done? Scorched earth.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's your boy Logan, JYA with yet another phenomenal DRYTRON duelist. My boy McDiddyDags was able to top regionals across the pond with our favorite deck. And this is an old friend of mine. It makes me so happy to see him performing with one of the greatest strategies of all time. So, McDiddy, my friend, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course, my pleasure, bro. And everyone, so you're all aware, be sure to slide over to his YouTube channel where you can find some additional Yu-Gi-Oh content linked in the description down below. But before we dive into your profile, my man, is there any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, just quickly, really, it's shout-outs to the testing circle and for the memes as well. Shout-out Luke Delaney, because he always asks.
Fair enough. All right. You hear that, Luke? Full shout-out for you, my brother. All right, my man, let's dive on into things.
Brilliant. Yeah, 40 card list, and we'll just go over the quick DRYTRON names, which is 3, 3, 2, and 2.
Oh, golden ratio. How is this performing for you?
I think exactly that, perfect ratio. So there's nothing really more too much to say. I suppose in the turn skip build, they play 3 and 3s of all of them, but this is perfect for this because it's Vanities.
Hey, I couldn't agree more, my friend. Well, let's talk about that a little bit more. So I see Vanity's rulers are win condition. Let's take a look at what we keep going.
Yep, so Vanities, these are the non-ritual fairies, basically. So yeah, we're doing the Vanities lock. You only need one with the Vanities. Obviously it comes up, helps you protect, play through nib, all of that, and just brilliant blind into things game one, and obviously good against like Kashtira and things like that too.
Definitely. Now, I want to ask you this much, because there's been a little bit of controversy recently about what the best DRYTRON build is. How do you feel, broadly, the Vanity's Ruler build compares to other builds of DRYTRON?
So I've never been a massive fan of the perfection sort of build, with the Dawn of the Herald and everything like that. It is good. I'm not saying it's not, but it's just not my way of doing it. And the Ammo Factor build, I do like that, and I do have like some of the cards for it and all of that. But I just think this suits my playstyle a little bit better, and I think because of the way that it's kind of it's obnoxious. It's just you know, one of the things that people do is obviously they dart ruler to try and dart ruler to the to sort the Mirage Lights and the Vanities, which is not a problem because then you're not dying anyway, and you get the add back off the Mirage, and you just get to crack back.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more, and I actually really do align with your line of thinking. But let's keep on going.
Brilliant. So for the rituals, it's obviously 3 Benten,
Oh, yeah.
1 Natasha, Draconids, and the Chaos Max.
So we are doing the Chaos Max backup plan. Let me ask you this question real quick. How many times did you end up either resolving Chaos Max or going for it on your first turn?
So I actually only did it once. It was a 6-round regional, so and that was because I got impermed and Veiled during the turn, so I ended up a Diviner and Chaos Max into the Dynamundo, and I've just passed with just Dynamundo, and then, you know, straight away just shotgunned it, locked him out, and that made me survive and actually won that game because of that. So yeah,
it did it exactly as it was intended in a build like this. Serve as the perfect backup plan.
Exactly. Natasha is so good. I've seen that you've said it could be, you know, it should be banned because of how good it is. It really is. Just being able to negate attacks is amazing. That came up, and I mean, I went from 5,3 life points to like 10,900 in the same turn, 1 point. So it's kind of nuts.
That's the other side of Natasha, right? Even if, you know, God forbid, even if you aren't able to kill your opponent while resolving its effect, you're going to make it insurmountable for them to be able to come back, because you're going to have so many darn life points. It really is that card that just enables the W.
Yeah, agreed. It's insane. And there's obviously the Snatch Steal effect as well. Just stealing your opponent's monsters, linking them off, and being able to out problems it's great. It's great.
Not once per turn, friends. Not once per turn.
No Cyber Angel is once per turn. Yeah. And then we're going on to the spells, so just quick on the lineup, really. I think this is also the kind of golden ratio on the names and the rituals and everything like that as well.
Definitely agree. Are you happy with doing 2 Medionis? Are you glad that you played 2?
Yeah, the extra ritual summon does come up quite a lot, actually. Just helps you be able to push. So yeah, it does an awful lot. And I do side it out sometimes, obviously going second against certain decks and things like that. Obviously against Kashtira is crucial, and Runic, because if they get rid of one, you've always got the other. So yeah, it's always good.
Gotcha. All right, let's rock on.
Brilliant. And the next ones, which are really the sort of non-engine, is we've got the thrust. Yeah, these bits. So double thrust, talents, duster, and change of heart. Obviously, you can go for other things with thrust, but these are just really great for utility. Yeah, I don't really know if there's anything more to say about these. They're just brilliant. I think
Thrust is one of the most powerful going second cards that DRYTRON can leverage. It's whatever you need it to be.
Exactly that. We do the 1 prep, 1 foolish, and the cool buy. Yeah, just wish you could play more of that, but this is 40 cards, and I didn't want to play any more. Really.
But you're technically playing 3 going second with the thrust.
Well, that too, yeah, exactly. All the one-offs, the normal spells, you are playing more with the thrust, yeah. And then the final thing is I was main decking evenly.
Okay, so this is interesting, and I definitely want to ask you about this. How did the evenly perform for you? Why did you choose to play this card as one of your other hard-going second options?
So with DRYTRON, you're limited on the non-engine that you're able to play. So because it has such an obnoxious turn 1 board anyway, you don't really, the engine's the engine to be able to do that. So being able to have these spaces as extra value to be able to go second is really crucial. Obviously, it takes a lot of people by surprise if I mean, a lot of people have been doing main deck evenly, but it does take people by surprise, and it does do the big blowouts. And I like the idea of, if I don't see evenly, I'm probably just going to Zeus you anyway. And if I do see evenly, I'm clearing your board, and then I'm going to Vanity you, and you can't come back regardless.
Couldn't agree more. That's beautiful. All right.
Yep.
So that's the main deck. 40 cards clean. Love to see it maximize consistency. Let's slide on into the extra.
Yep. So we go for the Linkaribo. I know you like Anima. We got the Mirage Light, the Dynamundo, the Phoenix, and the IP. And then we're doing the Borrow Sword. So these are the Link monsters that we play. Just 6.
All feel pretty mandatory to me.
Yeah. I tested this at the side events in YCS London as the Anima, and people weren't playing into the Anima zone. So I thought I'll switch this to Linkaribo, and then over the event, everyone played in the Anima zone, and I was like, I wish this was Anima at times.
Go figure.
Of course, but then the co-link with the Phoenix, it does come up as well. So
comes
that's
up equally as often. And the cool thing about the Linkaribo down pointing arrow is you have control over that compared to the opponent playing into the Anima zone.
Exactly. It also adds value into the Nova play when you do sometimes have to. You can Nova for the Alpha instead of, say, so you don't have to waste the Anima to be able to link it off, if that makes sense as well. Yeah. So the standard as well. I'll just explain. Well, not really explain, but it's just the 2. This is brilliant. People still don't know how to play around this or what this does. It's just so good. And
how many times did Fuko facilitate a Zeus for you?
I would say, yeah, 4 times at least minimum. Nice. Yeah, it really was insane. You just summon this and people they don't know what to do. You can either sit on it as well. It's brilliant for playing through Droll, through Shifter, things like that as well. So it's just and holding the materials underneath until you're ready or until you're forced to protect it. It's just great.
Couldn't agree more. I would call Fuko essential, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think I can guess what our last 2 cards in the extra are. Would they happen to be our Diviner targets?
Exactly, yeah. It's just the Entis and the Arclight, and I've seen people playing just one of them, really, dependent.
Can't do that. Can't do that.
100% agree. You need the versatility and the option, the decision tree to be able to either clear boards or be able to extend further. And you 100% need this with the 1-name hands when you go for the Chaos Max.
Absolutely. Perfect, man. We are in sync on this build. All right, let's check out this side deck.
Yeah. Side deck, we have gone for 3 Ash, which, yeah, I think that's just... It's great to side, good against Branded. I did expect less Branded to be actually happening because of the representation and the conversion rate in London, but I ended up actually facing 2. So, yeah, glad to have had it.
Were you able to Ash Branded Fusion?
I was, yes, it was perfect. And unfortunately, the guy did try and cross out, and I was like, you can't, you're under Lancia.
Oh, get wrecked. There we go.
Yeah, it's one of them. We've gone for the 3 Volcanic Queens.
Nice.
Came out a lot, and I really actually like this over the Lava Golem. I think it just gives you, it's guaranteed to always be able to tribute something at least,
Right. It deals with that Arise Heart pass, that nasty thing.
Yeah, just problematic cards that, you need to. We've got the Beta Busser and the Magic Unlocking.
So when you're going first or for the back row matchups, how often did you resolve the full combo with Vanity's ruler backed up with Beto?
I actually didn't fully resolve it. I just either never had the hand when I did sign it in to go first to either have Ben 10 alpha already or prep and and this or something like that, or a combination of. I just never actually got it off. But whenever you do, obviously in testing and all of that sort of stuff in theory, it's essential because it does be stop like dart ruler and things like that as well. So
agreed.
Yeah. Then just for the thrust as well, I'd also put these in with the thrust as well, I suppose. So this would have been a third thrust to be able to have that sided in, but unfortunately I didn't have it in time. And these are just good against Sprite with the thrusts as well. Obviously you're playing 4 copies, Sprite and Kashtira, or etc, etc. It's just additional copies really, the more that you have to be able to do that. Obviously brilliant for playing when you get gimmick puppet locked as well. So when they obviously activate Alibo, you thrust, get this, set it, and wait their turn. You skip their turn in response. So yeah,
and it saves you the trouble. Come on back, hit them on the clapback.
Exactly that. And then the last 3 are literally for the Cosmic Cyclones, for back row removal, for the Runics and all of that, and any other sort of back row deck. It's just good to be able to out things. The only thing I would have liked to have done is change this to be Odd Eyes Gravity Dragon.
Right.
Because this is enough, and then alongside Odd Eyes Gravity Dragon as well. But I didn't actually have one, so I just went with the third Cosmic.
Well, it gets the job done. The strategic removal of back row or runic fountains. I love to see it. Yep. Now, my friend McDiddy, let's go quickly over your matchups. But before we do that, is there anything you'd find yourself changing in future builds?
Yeah, just the Odd Eyes Gravity Dragon, definitely. I've really liked the main deck in general. I think the 2 thrust in the main is perfect alongside all the targets. So, and I think, to be honest, I think the main deck was pretty perfect, pretty consistent, and I think the main deck in Evenly was just phenomenal, really, of how it performed.
Excellent. All right, cool. So let's hear about those matchups real quick.
Yes, so round 1 was Sword Soul. We won that 2-1. Unfortunately, we did win the dice roll, but the hand that we had was like a double Zeta, double Meteonis, and yeah, I think it was like a Natasha or something like that. So it wasn't exactly massively sort of playable. Yeah, and then game 2 was the one where I Dynamondoed him with just Dynamondo pass, basically, with the Chaos Max. Yeah, round 2 was Sword Soul. We 2-0'd that. Then round 3 was Branded. We 2-1'd that. Round 4 was Sprite. We lost 2-1 to that. That was a brilliant match, to be fair. Really back and forth. Unfortunately, in game 2, I opened 3 Volcanic Queens and was just like, okay, Kaiju. Just chucking them at him. Round 5 was Branded, and that was 2-1 as well. In fact, full Vanities, game 1, and then game 2 we got puppet locked. Unfortunately, didn't manage to have the thrust to be able to do the D barrier. And then game 3 it was just Vanities plus a lot of fairies in hand. So, and then round 6 was the final round, which was surprisingly Scareclaw Adventure. It's kind of a scary deck, actually. I'd never played it before.
And how did that unfold? What was the MVP in that matchup?
It was Natasha, to be honest, actually. Natasha, because the Link 3, the Tri-Heart, makes obviously everything go into defense. Link monsters obviously can't go into defense. You just Link climb a little bit, and then Natasha stole everything and just linked it all off. Yeah. It was, yeah. And Fuko actually helped with that as well, because he had game 1, he had like a full board of everything with the Link 3, the Adventure Engine with the Griffin up and everything like that, and ended up baiting the Griffin, going Fuko, clearing the board, and yeah, doing what we needed to do.
Excellent, my friend. Now, McDiddy, any closing thoughts you want to share with the DRYTRON community before we bring this video to a close?
I mean, if you haven't tried it, deck's phenomenal. Obviously, if you're looking at Logan's videos, you're definitely a DRYTRON duelist. Give main deck Evenly a go, depending on the build that you're doing, because it's a good massive blowout, and you'll be able to set it all up. And yeah, just looking forward to continuing to play the deck and keep going with it as well, because it's a really good deck.
Excellent, man. We're going to be cheering you on from here, man. Love to see fellow DRYTRON duelists and friends performing well with our favorite strategy. With that, my friends, Logan JYA signing off. Have a great day. I'll see you beautiful people later. Peace.